Wow. We all think we know the story of the Titanic, right? The iceberg, the lifeboats, all that grand tragedy. But what you just heard, well, that's a perspective almost nobody ever considers. And that's where our story begins.
So today, we're going to dive into this really powerful, really personal account of that fateful voyage. It's a narrative that puts us right in the heart of the ship as it's going down. This is the story of the stallion of the Titanic.
So, who is our narrator? Well, his name is Barnaby. And get this, he's not some passenger in a fancy lavish stateroom. He's a champion show horse. Yep, precious cargo, traveling deep down in the dark hold, on his way to a whole new life, a new home across the ocean.
You gotta remember, for Barnaby, the world wasn't about grand staircases or string quartets playing on the deck. Nope, his world was, well, it was the deep, constant, rhythmic thrum of the ship's massive engines. It was a world of steel and steam and that comforting, familiar scent of hay. You know, it was predictable. It was safe.
But this whole journey, it wasn't just about getting across an ocean in a dark crate. It was fueled by something more, by a promise of a future, of freedom, and of these amazing wide open fields just waiting for him on the other side.
And this promise, it was so deeply personal. It came in these soft whispers from his young groom, a guy named Thomas, who would talk to him about this shared dream they had. So you see, it wasn't just a destination on a map. It was a real bond being forged right there in the belly of the ship, a vision of running totally free in Virginia.
And then, boom, in one absolutely horrific, jarring moment, everything changed. That steady rhythm that had defined his entire world, it was just broken. The floor beneath him, the whole world as he knew it, suddenly and violently tilted.
And just look at how terrifyingly fast this all happened. I mean, the world went from the calm of steel and steam to the pure chaos of a thunderous groan as metal just rips apart. Then came the water, described here as a silent, hungry ghost, chilling. And it all culminates in this one desperate moment, the hatchet and the lock.
This right here, this is the moment that some abstract idea of danger becomes a terrifying physical reality. The freezing Atlantic Ocean isn't outside the ship anymore, it's inside. It's pouring into the hold, and it's rising, just relentlessly, around Barnaby's legs.
I mean, talk about a brutal contrast. The dream, the whole reason for this journey, was running through these warm Virginia fields. And the reality? The reality is standing trapped in rising, icy Atlantic water. The promise they had, it was literally drowning.
So, in the middle of all this chaos, what is hope? It's not a lifeboat. It's not a rescue party. Down there, in that flooding cargo hold, hope boiled down to just one person, one tool, and one final desperate act of loyalty. It was Thomas, the groom. He didn't run away to save himself. No, he ran back into the flooding hold. And the description is just so powerful, a hatchet in hand and tears streaming down his face. He's there, striking the lock to set Barnaby free. You realize this isn't just about survival anymore. This is a profound act of love. Okay, so the stall is shattered, and now their journey enters its most frantic, most unbelievable stage. We're talking about a desperate escape, and not through some boring crew corridors. No, they're heading through the opulent, golden hallways of this dying ship.
Just try to picture this. What happens next is an absolutely unbelievable scene. You have a man and a horse thundering through the first-class decks. They're navigating flooded corridors. They're pushing past screaming crowds. They're dodging falling chandeliers. All of it in this desperate race to get to the open deck, to the very edge of the abyss.
So after all that enclosed chaos, they finally make it outside. But the first thing that hits them, it's not relief. Not at all. It's the shocking raw cold. It's that salt air just biting at their skin, a brutal reminder of the vast, dark ocean that's waiting for them.
And right here, standing on the precipice, everything just pauses. No words are needed. There's just one final desperate look between the man and the beast. It's a moment of silent understanding, of a shared fate, right before the final impossible choice has to be made.
And then, together, they did the only thing they could do. They leapt. Just launched themselves off the deck of the greatest ship in the world and straight into the black, icy void of the North Atlantic, as the lights of the Titanic flickered and died behind them. And really, this is the core of the entire story. In the face of one of history's greatest tragedies, this whole narrative tells us that something else managed to endure. A connection between these two beings that proved to be stronger than the sinking iron and the freezing deep. So, this really leaves us with a question to think about, doesn't it? We all know the numbers, right? The statistics of the Titanic. But how do these small, incredibly personal stories just like this one, how do they actually help us understand the true human scale of an epic tragedy?